こんにちは。今回の説明は、hanhwaと、カメラステーションの説明します。で、今回は英語で説明しますので、皆さんよく聞いてください。on this screen, it is shown web page SDK install of a hanhwa TechWin Samsung camera. What this explain is, I guess this hanhwa camera is it has a collaboration with a Samsung product. So this camera is being introduced newly to our own company, but now we'll be using it as a means of service. First of all, the camera is of almost the same state with Axis camera, but both cameras can be made a plug and play camera. But this camera, the way you install this, the way you connect this camera with Camcloud is a little bit different from the way you connect Axis camera and Camcloud. In Axis camera, you only get the OC number and the serial number to Camcloud. But on this one, it's almost same thing, but you have to install an SDK file into the camera. That is what this write-up is all about here. But first of all, on the camera side, you have to set up the time and date correctly. Without the time and date being set up correctly, it will give you an error when trying to connect the camera with the cloud. So first, you have to go to the camera, go to the settings side, and correct it just with the same settings or the same way you've seen it. Based on different location, you have to correct your location with the present with the presentation, with the file I'm presenting. It may not be the same, but you have to correct it with your own location. Secondly, you have to correct the IP address and the port, although it doesn't need a port number. On this part, if it has a port number, you have to either remove it or put it the way it is. But on this part, we are using a DHCP format, not a static IP. If you make a static IP, is also allowed as well. But for my own end, if you are not too much in a hurry to make, or if you are not really being, security anxious, you can put it on the DHCP for settings. So therefore, it will make you connect. It will give you the ability to connect smoothly with the cloud. Thirdly, you have to upgrade and reset your camera because of the model. Each camera carries different model. Your camera might be carrying an old model, but due to recent update and due to recent firmware update, you have to update your camera to the latest firmware for it to be able to connect to the cloud, because the cloud as well always have an update, and the SDK you're going to be installing on your camera also has an update. If you're using a newer version of newer firmware of the camera, and you're using an old version of the SDK, it may give you, or it may lead you to an error state. So therefore, you have to upgrade the camera to the latest firmware and then restart the camera. Thirdly, this is just what is it called? Wise stream. Enable this set to high. For this camera, presently, I do not know too much about what they mean by wise stream, but for a smooth connection, set this just the way the ComCloud wants it to be. You have to do it exactly the same way this has been set. On the 5th page, this is where you have to get the SDK. The SDK is a file that you get from the ComCloud company to be installed on the camera. You can either get it directly from hanhwa. There's an home page from hanhwa where you can get the SDK from. But first of all, you have to register and get it. You have to register with them, and they have to give you an OK authentication before you can access those services. But if you are dealing with our company, we already have the SDK, which we partner with the ComCloud service. The ComCloud service gave it to us as well. So this is the part where you install the SDK. First of all, you have to go to the camera, to the open platform. There, you have to install the SDK into this camera. How are you going to do this? You can see this on the on my left-hand side upper part where you see the open platform. Below there is what is it called, like a search bar, where you can like a search bar. Beside it, you have a 3-dot stamp. You have to click that, then it will direct you to your own local folder to select the SDK file, and then by the side of it there is an install button. If you click it, it will install it on the camera, and you will find the below application name, just the way you're saying it right now. So after that, you have to start the service. By doing this, by the in between them, you find after the application name, the next is status. Then you have to start this. Now it's showing stop and running. When you install, you won't see it this way. You only see a play button and the other one, the health. So when you start, it will turn to stop button and it will show running. So another thing you have to do is, by the setup side, you have to enable the auto start. This means if your camera gets to shut down in any means, or your camera runs out of power, or there is a power failure, whatever, or I don't know. If something of such happens and the power comes back, the camera will automatically start again, and it will automatically connect to the cloud with the help of the auto start. This will automatically start the server again, automatically start this application inside the camera without you coming in to start it again. So by doing this, it will connect directly with the cloud. So once you do that, you get the camera's serial number and the MAC number. Those two things are necessary for you to do the other settings at the ComCloud UI. So this is the ComCloud UI. First, you have to purchase an account from our company for you to get to connect a camera. Each camera costs a fee, but that should be I don't really know the fee, how much it costs, but the management can, when you contact us, we can always present that to you as well. But this thing costs by a camera, just by the cameras. If you are connecting one camera, it's just the fee you're going to be charged per year or per month for just that camera. But if you're going to be connecting like 5 cameras, it's going to be times 5 of it. You multiply it by the numbers of cameras you have and all that. So when you get to ComCloud, you have to there you find this add camera button. You click, then it takes you to this part where you find various type of cameras. We provide two services, the Axis and the hanhwa camera. Although we provide the Ike Vision as well, but the Ike Vision is not it is a plug and play camera, but not all cameras on Ike Vision support plug and play. It's just the newer version of Ike Vision that supports plug and play. So for now, Axis and hanhwa is being used by our company to connect CamCloud. So you click on hanhwa, then by the right hand side you find second field. You give it a name. Give the camera a name, whatever name you wish to give it to it, you give to it. Then you get the serial number, you input the serial number, you get the MAC number of the camera, you input it. Make sure the Open XDK and the auto setup are on. If they are not on, it will bring out the screen of you cannot connect to that camera with the plug and play SDK or the plug and play you have in it. So therefore, you have to go through the port forwarding method and all that. You find the screen, it will present that screen up to you. So now, after this, after you input the serial number and the MAC number, please press the next button. It will load. If it doesn't connect properly, you know there is something missing from the camera towards the camera aspect. It's either your time or something is not being set up properly, or the service is not running properly. So you have to go back to the camera and check those settings just the way we explained from the starting. You have to check back those settings, then come back again and try installing it. Try connecting to the camera again once more. By doing that, I guess it will go through. So once you click the next button, it will take you to the last setup stage, which you're going to set before you can get the live view of the camera. So here, the first you have recording mode. You either decide you want a continuous recording, or the motion stuff, motion detecting stuff, just only for motion detecting. So for us, we always the most customers always make it continuous recording, because that is the main purpose of the cloud, to store data in the cloud, to store live field in the cloud. So secondly is an event trigger. The event trigger is whenever there is a motion in the live view, it saves or it gives a prompt or a mark on the recording line to help you and identify the areas where there was a movement or there was an action. So that is, you have to put that, or if you don't need it, you have to disable it or remove it totally. The third one is quality. Quality is the resolution of the camera. Depends on your camera. If you have a 4K camera, you have to, it will give you the opportunity of setting it up to a 4K camera, up to a 4K resolution. But if your camera is up to an high full HD, it will give you the exact resolution which your camera supports as well. But for the presently, if your camera is a 4K camera, you have to pay additional fee in order for you to be able to use it up to the 4K, for you to get a 4K resolution. So that is for that. Then the sensitivity, it's average. This it's kind of for the trigger between for the camera and all that. So notification, it's either you remove it or you enable it or you disable it by clicking on it, and you find an enabling mark for you to remove the mark or put the mark. For this, if the camera stop at any time, it has to send a message to your email address, or it's an email address. If the camera the camera get to stop at any point in time, it will send you an email. That's please check your camera. That's just an health check. Whatever goes wrong, the camera or the network fails and all that, or the connection, it loses connection between the cloud and the camera. It sends you an health check notification. The other one is event trigger schedule. Allow always on. You have to make it always on for it to always have that trigger schedule. Then the lastly is the camera label. You have to the label is just like a group, not actually a label, but it's just like a group. If you have an account here, you can make a sub users. So this gives you the opportunity of, if you have 10 cameras in your account, if you can create 5 users as well. So each user gets to, whenever any of these users log into into the account, you share or you give a rule for all users cannot access all cameras. This user can only access this camera, and this user can only access this camera, or you can give the user the permission of accessing all cameras. So therefore, in every camera you install, you give it a label. That is, you put the camera into a group. So that is the last part of my explanation. So by doing that, your settings will be up and running and your camera will be live on view. ここまで以上です。ありがとうございます。